they're going to talk to us. And I've given each of you a copy of the timeline that Matt shared with me regarding the capital projects that we're considering. And we're to the point now where we can talk about some firm dates and answer any questions that might be out there regarding that, as well as other things that come along the way. So I'm just going to shut up and kind of turn things over to Matt, and you can kind of start, and we'll just all chime in. This will be very informal. If you have questions or something, please speak up and ask. This is what this is for.
Okay. So we'll go over the project that's currently under design. I would say pretty close to being complete. And the scope of that project is the electrical service upgrade and the boiler replacement in the 1950s building. The schedule, does everybody have a copy? Bob, is the schedule? Mm-hmm. So I'm going to table over to the engineers, and we can kind of go through a rough scenario for design of the documents, what that looks like. Right now, tonight's meeting, we'll get authorization to solicit the project for bids. March 23rd, we will go out for bids. Have a pre-bid meeting here April 7th. Bids will be due to my office April 13th. And then at the April 22nd board meeting is when we will award. And then after that, that just starts the logistics of construction. And then we can hone in on an actual construction schedule with the contractor. Looking to be done with the project, substantially complete mid-August, with all hopes of materials being here on time. So I don't foresee any issue with materials at this point. So that's the timeline that we have set up. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to the engineers. I'll let them introduce themselves and kind of give you a rundown on the scope.
Okay. I'll kick it off and introduce Jim as well. My name is Adam Camp. I'm with KE Bluestone. I am mechanical engineer on the project and principal in charge on the project. And then I have Jim Murray with me, electrical engineer on the project. So I asked him to come along, obviously, because I'm mechanical. I was involved in the boiler portion. Jim is electrical. He can speak better to that on that portion. So Matt gave you a really quick overview on the schedule, but essentially on the boiler portion of the job, we are following in line. No real surprises from when we got into the project, from what we mentioned at the board meeting a few months ago when the project was approved. Really what we're looking at is replacing the existing boiler over in this portion of the building. Complete demolition of the boiler and just the local piping around it, existing mains and valves, etc. to distribution, it will remain. Going back to the installation of 2 new boilers for some redundancy. The 2 boilers combined provide the total capacity for the system served, but that way if you had an issue where a boiler was down, you still have 50% heating capacity. Hopefully it goes down on a 50% low day, not the coldest day of the year, but you're not completely without heat. Other than that, just some miscellaneous tie-up items that included for contractor's sake, not so much. Matt has a set of drawings if we would like to go through things in fine detail, but as a broad overview, that is the approach of the boiler replacement. A central replacement of that boiler, everything's pretty much focused on the boiler.
Yeah, so with that being said, where the windows are in the west wall of the boiler room, we'll be taking those windows out, demolishing the masonry wall below that so that we can actually get the boilers in and out. We'll have to put a new louver in that wall for combustion air. Bob and I have talked, we will not go back with windows, we'll just go back with masonry to match as close as possible.
Couple other items that are probably worth noting. I did pick up what's known as a condensate pump down in your crawl space. When we were here on site doing surveys, he had mentioned it had recently been repaired or was on its last leg, so we got that included in the project.
Thank you, because I was just asked that today, so I appreciate
so we did include that in the project, just a direct replacement 1-for-1 of the one that's down there. We are showing new flues, and I'm happy to show anyone what we're talking about, but that old boiler went into the chimney and up. Talking with our boiler rep on what's the best cost-effective approach. You can either reline that chimney or you can provide new flues. We chose to provide new flue penetrations, and we'll just seal that up because the cost in his eyes was a wash either direction, so may as well put something in new rather than try to reuse something old. So essentially coming out of that boiler room right above the roof line, you can, at that main entry, you have that higher roof from the boiler room and the lower roof from the entry, coming in between there and up a little bit just to get the influence out of the boiler room. And then it was discussed in the previous board meeting, but just as a reminder, the intent is to go back with steam boilers that can be convertible. So you can run them at steam as long as you want, but if for any time you start renovating portions of the school and you start getting away from steam and want to go to hot water, they can be converted at that time. You have to do piping and pumps, but the central system is convertible. So.
One other thing along with the boilers replacement, that'll have to do with asbestos abatement. Talking with your consultant, MEC, once the boilers are shut down, we gotta test the bricks inside the boiler to see if they are asbestos. We also have to test the concrete pad underneath it. Hopefully none of that comes back needing to be abated, but if it does, they'll address that accordingly. And then the window in the boiler room, they'll also test that. So there's a proposal coming to you from them for those services. That's it pertaining to the mechanical side.
Yeah, I guess, okay, perfect.
I think last we heard, we might be able to avoid some of the demo by cutting. But I think that was the last board meeting or something.
That was my hope at that point. It doesn't sound like that's gonna
That's
be
not a
possible at this
possibility.
point.
Can you elaborate?
Yeah.
Might be able to answer.
I can't, that's all I heard.
Well, I mean, there's a door that leads to the outside in the boiler room. I think we were hopeful that we could not demo and use the door if it's cut up enough. And it doesn't sound like that's gonna be possible. Matt's
Boilers
conversation with me.
without any of the pipe, it comes factory, what they call it with trim, which is some of the factory accessories and piping already done in the factory. You can remove that. The skid, if you get that boiler on the skid, it's 40 inches wide. And I don't remember the exact dimensions off my head, but I think that door is 36 inch door. So we would have to enlarge the door.
Yeah.
So we did talk about, we can either enlarge the door or remove the window.
Yeah.
And if you did go through the door, for those that have been in there, you walk right into hand railing. So then you have to remove the railing and the window's old, we decided to take it into the window.
It's more cost effective from a construction standpoint just to take the window as opposed to trying to enlarge the door. We get into structural when we do that and try and most cost effective way.
That was a comment / option I threw around with the maintenance guy when we were on site, just as maybe, and then we talked to Matt and that was the direction he said.
Yeah, I was encouraged when I heard that. I thought it'd be great if it was possible, but.
That was our hope, I think, at that point, but, you know. What about like safety of that, once that opening is created? You know, obviously you're not gonna get everything done in 24 hours.
That'll all be on the contractor to maintain a secure construction site for the duration of the project.
Okay.
That falls on the contractor, that's the word of the project.
I've seen it handled multiple ways. Sometimes they'll just plywood, lock, whatever,
Yeah.
make so people can't get into the
Yeah.
building at night. They'll address it and make sure it's
Okay.
safe and secure.
Any questions?
Any questions on the mechanical side?
Yeah, we still do have the electrical.
We got the
service.
electrical portion of that, but
We can always circle back.
yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Good, okay,
Yeah.
talk about the electrical. Okay, so the service upgrade. So right now the school's set up with 2 separate ComEd services. There's a 400 amp service down here and then a 600 amp service down there. Transformer down there is in that, transformer vault room with the green door on the exterior, blocked by ComEd. And then this one, there's a pad mount transformer outside. So what we're planning on doing is combining these services into one. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna bring in a new 2000 amp, 12208 volt service. And that will be sized to handle the future air conditioning needs of the school. So what that's gonna look like is a new switchboard in this boiler room down here. And we're gonna use that to backfeed essentially your 2 services. So there's a distribution panel in that boiler room there. So our new switchboard is gonna feed that panel. And then our new switchboard is also gonna feed the distribution panel down in the boiler room there, where we're doing all the boiler work. And so ComEd is gonna set a new pad mount transformer on the exterior of the building, similar to where the old one is. And we're gonna bring in a new primary from the street, so a new medium voltage line to the to the transformer. And then from that transformer, it's gonna go to our new switchboard. And the good thing about this is it's gonna minimize downtime, because essentially they can get this new service put in entirely and energized before you have to take the old services offline.
Wow.
So that should work out really well. So they can get everything piped and wired, and then on a weekend or, an off-shift basis, they can do the final changeover to your distribution panel here, and then your distribution panel down there. So it should really minimize downtime for everyone. I met with ComEd on site last week, so we're just finalizing all of our plans, but essentially on ComEd's end, it'll be a new transformer outside, a new meter, and then a new CT cabinet. Right now you have 2 utility meters, so that'll go down to 1. So if you're receiving 2 separate bills right now, it should just go down to 1, or 1 meter number. So that should simplify things in the future. And then also this will be sized for all the future HVAC loads that we've been talking about. So we should be set up there. So whenever you're ready to move forward with that, all the power will be in place and we can just go ahead and power everything from the new distribution. ComEd will be responsible for removing that old transformer, the old meters, and then that transformer vault. There's a transformer in there. They're gonna take that out. And the primary conduit that powers that transformer, it's actually routed under the building. That will get abandoned in place, and then ComEd will pull out the primary conductors. So there's no energized, lines coming from the street to make it safe. So that's kind of the overall scope of the service upgrade.
Just so they're aware, that's something we haven't talked about. To get from this boiler room over here to the boiler room on the west side, you want to expand about how we're going to actually get that wiring?
Yeah, so right now the plan, so it's tricky because we have to feed from this end to that end to maintain that service down there. As you can see, the ceilings are all these spline tile ceilings. You can't remove them. You can't get conduit above there. If we wanted to route it in the building, it would have to be surface mounted. We'd have to core through all these masonry walls. It wouldn't look great. So really there's 2 options. We can route them on the roof, which isn't great with the peaks of gyms and stuff like that. Second option is, which I think is the most viable, we can trench or directionally bore alongside in that grassy area, along back, get a Julie locate, make sure there's no utilities back there. Essentially route that all the way to the far end there. And then once we get to the end of the building, we'll go inside there, poke in, and then go up overhead to our new, or to the existing panel.
Yeah.
So there'll be some excavation back there to get those lines put in.
Questions about that, guys?
Yeah, I was curious how you were gonna get it there. I think you can trench it.
I
That's
agree.
the most
I thought what we
straightforward.
could do is, obviously go from the boiler room and get to the locker rooms,
Mhm.
go inside the locker rooms and get over to the boiler. That way we're staying on the pavement,
Mhm.
just in the green space.
Do you think there's any chance that the international chaos could disrupt supply chain stuff? I know supply chain stuff's been tight with electrical stuff over the last 5-6 years or so.
So it's looking a lot better. So I talked to our gear rep. He's saying about 16 weeks, once we release the gear and get it. So it's not what it used to be. It's not a year plus like what we were looking at a few years ago. So
So that wouldn't be disrupted in the near future by any kind of international.
I mean, there's always a chance. I mean, we can't control supply chain stuff, but the best we can do is pay for what we pay for.
Okay, so we get through this and then we do the next step after that? Have we talked about that?
We can, you mean the air conditioning portion?
Yes.
Yeah, we can, if we have no more questions with that, we can.
Okay,
We
do
can
you guys
go
have any
into
more
that.
questions?
I do. So will the electrical and the boiler portions be happening simultaneously, or will it go electrical, then boiler?
It'll be simultaneous.
Okay,
yeah, the boilers aren't contingent on.
okay. All right.
So if there is any supply chain issues with electrical components, the heating system will be able to run off of the current electrical, so there will be no issues there.
So for the new, you said there's new lines coming in from the road, the power lines, so they'll use the same poles, just run new bigger lines.
So it's gonna come off of the poles at the end of this parking lot down here, the existing pole that feeds the service. ComEd wants to use the pole next to it for a new primary.
Okay,
That way we can maintain that other one, it can stay active. We can get the new riser up to the pole, directionally bore under the pavement to the new transformer, get that up and running, so there's no disruptions.
All right, so that's,
All that.
okay, they're gonna go underneath. So then does ComEd cover that boring?
The electrical contractor, so that's the electrical contractor's responsibility to get from the pole to the new transformer. They put in that conduit, and then ComEd pulls the primary conductors.
Okay.
Anything else?
I
Questions?
think we're good.
Okay.
So let's talk about options for air conditioning. Bob had mentioned that you guys want to talk a little bit about that, so with that, I'm gonna turn that over to Adam and talk about different options for air conditioning essentially from the two-story building west.
I guess not to kick it again, I mean, is there anything that, I guess, to open the discussion, I guess, what is the mindset approach? Are you looking for recommendations from us, or do you guys have something in mind?
What we've talked about so far is looking at mini split units. We would put those on the roof. And that's kind of, there's basically everything from the breezeway, what we call it, by the cafeteria, that way. So that's kind of where we're at right now. And that's probably the most cost-effective approach that we're, that's why we went down that road.
Okay, there's pros and cons with everything. Obviously, as a consultant, all I can do is just give you my opinion and what I would recommend. I believe what you just said is correct, is probably the most cost-effective approach. We do a lot of work for a lot of school districts, and there's a lot of guidelines and things that we follow, and obviously it's best practice to, approach multiple things when you're doing upgrades like that. Ventilation has become a big topic lately, and it's a big thing for the HVAC industry. It's the ventilation. So obviously it would achieve what you're trying to do, but there are cons with that style of system. You would achieve air conditioning, it would be cost effective, it would be the cheap way to do it. And I wouldn't say that it wouldn't work, but it would not necessarily improve into any like air quality issues that you may have in the school. And it would not address any humidity concerns if you guys do have those issues. So obviously, that's one thing that's really important to keep in mind when you add air conditioning is you increase the risk sometimes of some of that moldy, mildew, buildup potential, I guess is the correct way to answer that. So if the building is constantly kept up tight and you will feel swings in the humidity as equipment cycles on and off, because a mini split only air conditions. It doesn't have any dehumidification potential other than when the air conditioning is running, whereas other systems can handle that. So on days where you may open windows or you use the windows for operable ventilation, or hot days or something, you want to crack a window to let some air in, you'll start to feel clammy feelings in the classrooms, and that can sometimes lead with condensation on the walls, have your air conditioning going. So my recommendation would be to, try to invest a little bit more money in something that would be addressing both air conditioning and ventilation, more specifically providing the air conditioning ventilation system. And there's 100 different ways to do that, whether that's unit ventilators in each room, rooftop units, anything, but that would be my recommendation. But obviously there's pros and cons to each way. Obviously that is more expensive, and when you introduce ventilation, your utility bills will go up because you're bringing in air from outside and you have to condition that, so it's not, so it doesn't affect the space. So there's pros and cons. Those systems would also last longer too, whereas a mini split system, you'll get, maybe it's no different than your house, every 10 years, maybe you'll get 5 more years out of it. Maybe some of them will fail early. They're a commodity piece of equipment, but it is definitely the most first cost effective approach. So just to kind of get that all rolling. I don't know what kind of numbers have been quoted or if you have been quoted, but just something to keep in mind, just to start the discussion. So.
Questions, guys?
With the humidity concerns, would you be worried about the type of windows we have, single pane,
That's,
old from the sixties?
it's another comment. So a lot of times when you put in air conditioning to an older school, like this one, your building has aged and you've got infiltration, and so you do fight some of that stuff. And we have to consider that when we're doing load calcs. So if you've got the tight brand new building, you might have 2.5 tons of cooling in the classroom, whereas if you've got a building with poor insulation and infiltration, you have to oversize that equipment. Where that hurts is in the shoulder, what we call the shoulder seasons, when it's 70 out, you need a little bit of air conditioning, but not a lot. So your air conditioning kicks on and then shuts back off, kicks back on. What it does, it picks up all the cooling that you just did and blows it back into the room, and you start to feel it's 70, but it's clamping 70. So you do get that feeling from infiltration, just from bad windows, just from the state of the building. You can offset it, but it has side effects. Now, many splits and a lot of equipment have gotten much better and variability of turn down, so it's a lot easier to address, but I'm not gonna tell you that anything's gonna be perfect from that aspect. It's just the state of the building. The other thing I would probably try to keep in mind too is moving forward. Again, I don't know what your plans are after the boiler project. If you do plan to convert, if you plan to stay with steam for a long time, I know your heating source is radiators around the building. So if you do a mini split style system, that doesn't really set you up for future for a heating improvement. If you decide that you need to do a controls upgrade or piping upgrade or equipment upgrade in your classrooms, you can replace it as is or go with another style of equipment. But obviously that mini split isn't necessarily a dual type piece of equipment. Whereas if you went with rooftop units or a unit ventilator, you can get them bought with future coils in them that you can hook up hot water piping to later or steam piping to now. Rooftop units, obviously you can start going with gas or something like that. But it's also something to keep in mind that mini splits are cooling only pieces of equipment. So there's a lot of information on this topic.
So like rooftop units, does it cover, can you do multiple classrooms with one, just depending on the size?
When we've done it, we typically will absorb multiple classrooms. Looking at the size of your classrooms, somewhere between 2 and 3 classrooms on a single rooftop unit would probably be beneficial. And again, there's cons to everything. So a con to that would be unless you spend additional money on zoning that, you're gonna have one thermostat or average the stats. So you got empty classrooms. If that's the only stat, it'll affect the other two. I mean, there's a lot of things to think about from each style of system. But
So from us, on the air conditioning side, we just need to decide based on what we're hearing tonight, is mini splits what we're gonna stay with, or is there some other option that we need to look at? And there's obviously gonna be a price difference between, whatever option we look at. Correct?
yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I mean, I'd be interested in just seeing what the cost is on these other units, because I didn't realize the mini splits had a 10 to 15-year life to them. So that kind of changes your math a little bit.
I thought when Joe came, that we didn't love how the rooftop units would look, right?
I think
Right.
I like how the side units,
They were talking about putting the mini splits up on the
Up.
roof, and that's what
Right.
we were concerned about,
Okay.
as opposed to. Or,
The
I
side.
think the concern
I
was
thought we didn't like them on the side.
they were down on the
Oh,
ground, we were
you're
gonna
right.
put them up.
Because on the side, they were gonna stick
That's
out
right.
the roof, they kind of hide.
How would we go about getting an idea of what a rooftop unit would cost and how many that we would need?
We can definitely help with that.
Okay.
What's the lifespan of rooftop?
Depends, again, everything comes in quality, just like cars, you can get different qualities, but, I would ballpark them more towards like the 20-year range. I mean, low end 15 to 20, whereas a mini split would be 10 to 15 kind of thing. So there is a chance that you would go through 2 iterations of mini splits by the time you're replacing your rooftop unit. Just something to keep in mind too.
Keep in mind, the rooftop unit not only provides air, but it will also be your source of heat.
And ventilation.
Yes, ventilation.
So it would work in combination with the new boiler that we would put in.
Depending on how you want to set it up.
So rooftop unit, there's less likelihood of attracting mold and humidity rather than the mini split unit?
Just as an example, yeah, yes. So when those styles of equipment, I'm trying to get not too detailed or in the weeds. A mini split does not have what we call a dehumidification cycle. It will run for cooling, and when there's no cooling call, it doesn't run. Whereas other style pieces of equipment, they have what's called a dehumidification cycle, where they have processes to force the equipment to run longer, even when there's not cooling, without affecting the space. It essentially cools it and reheats it. Compressorized equipment like rooftop units or some unit ventilators will do what's called hot gas reheat, where it takes the heat off the compressor and runs it back through and heats it back up. So what that does is it allows the cooling to run, and you discharge room neutral air, but you've removed all the moisture out of it, if that makes sense.
So then where would the moisture be expelled out?
It would, in any scenario, mini splits, anything with air conditioning, it would then, every unit has a drain pan, and then that is drained into a floor drain, the sink, or outside. So it's just compensating a little bit.
If we do the rooftop, do we have to do the boiler?
I was wondering that too.
There is an option for that. I mean, you could do gas heat or a heat pump rooftop unit.
Or the rooftop unit, we're running quite a bit of
You'll have ductwork.
ductwork.
Yep, there will be some invasiveness for ductwork.
So
Maybe
one of the
that's why.
drawbacks of your current building is there's no what we call interstitial space between your ceiling. You have steel joists above that. There's not a lot of room to run ductwork.
I think that's why we were, now that you say that, that was a big.
It was one of the considerations.
Yeah.
In addition to the cost. Would you say that when it comes to the humidity and issues with mold, the mini splits are essentially putting us in the same position we are now with, window units and things like that around. It's basically the same situation, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, a mini split will last a little bit longer than a window air conditioner. I mean, those probably have a life expectancy of like 5 years, but obviously everything can last longer than you expect. But yeah, I don't know if this room ever feels clammy at times, because that would be the
Sure, it does. I mean,
that would be the
occasionally.
feeling that you would get with mini splits.
Yeah.
So is there, two questions, is there a world where we are going to have some sort of air quality reports going on that are coming down the pike that school, you know what I mean? Like,
Nothing that I can really speak to. I mean, obviously anything can happen. I mean, if another COVID happens or something, maybe they'll start mandating stuff in schools. Typically, you're dictated by the codes and years that your school was built.
Sure.
They don't typically require you to be retroactive. I mean, the government, that was the whole purpose of the, what's the name of that grant? Sorry.
ESSER.
Yes, the ESSER money was so that schools could improve their ventilation and air quality.
So
That was the
then-
whole purpose.
with that, if we were to do that kind of upgrade, would that give us like perhaps a break on our insurance or something like that, showing that we do have better air quality, even though despite our building age?
I do not know the answer to that question.
Just wondering if that's something that could be thrown out there. Don't know?
I do not know.
Oh, okay.
Good question.
Well, thank you.
Did we get an official price on how much the mini splits will be?
I haven't received an official price yet, but just in my conversations with Joe, it was anywhere from 10 to 15,000 per unit. Be my guess. Just conversations with Joe.
Given the trade-offs that, we've learned so far, my gut says I'm more comfortable still going with the mini splits, but I would like to see a kind of apples kind of
I think you did one.
comparison between, the
Between that and
costs.
the rooftop units you're
Looking at the mini
about?
splits, looking at the rooftop units, like, do a side by
I'm
side.
not to one for rooftops, but I mean, based on what you just told me and gut feel, it would be at least double that.
Mm. So if you think about it in financial terms, we're gonna bond to, we're in that process now, to about 600,000. We do a rooftop unit that potentially takes us past that point. So in my mind, either one of two things you're gonna have to do is either whatever the excess is, you can use fund balance to pay for that excess, which depending on how much it is, that's what I would recommend. Or you would have to go back and bond for the, whatever the extra is. And that's, again, we won't know that until we decide which direction that we're gonna go. It's potential that we wouldn't have to go down that road if we chose rooftop unit, or excuse me, if we chose the mini splits, but it sounds like we may have to do that if we would go with rooftop units.
I think that mini splits gives us 10 years to see where population goes. But that's my opinion. We can think about it.
I mean, I don't know what our estimate is right now, but I thought our estimates rolled to like barely 400,000. And then we went to 600 just to have a number, but I didn't think we were pushing.
It was gonna be below that, you're right.
We weren't pushing
Yes.
anywhere near.
Yeah, no, it
600,000.
wasn't gonna be near 600, but I'm just saying that was what our limit is. It sounds like. Yeah,
For all of it.
Oh.
For boiler and electrical.
except that the electrical upgrade will pay for that differently than.
The electrical gets paid for by grant, effectively. The boilers and the AC was rolling up to like.
Yeah, the bonding would be for the boiler and the AC,
project. I know.
I think we're okay with moving forward with what we have started, what you guys have started, and then we can decide as we get closer.
I think we need to get a, if we can just get an idea, I guess if it's just double, then I guess that's.
we need to do one of two things. Either everybody's okay with moving forward with mini split units or we want to investigate rooftop units and compare against what we have with.
Do you know
compare
the school
against,
that has mini splits?
I'm sorry?
Doesn't Grand Ridge have mini splits?
What was the question?
Which school had them?
Oh,
Like if any of the others.
Are they happy with it?
As far as I know, but they have all new windows on the walls on those.
I think that's what's holding us back is the windows. I don't really want to do that.
Yeah, I would have done windows first.
what's everybody think? Do we need to, you see a comparison before we,
I think you
Decide.
should see a comparison so that you have the facts in front of you and can make a decision based on the facts.
Will that delay the progress?
start date, I think we're
I don't
talking about,
think
is
the
that will that
AC
delay anything? Okay.
The only thing
ACs
I
are-
would truly consider is if you were gonna go down the path of rooftop units, you could negate the boiler installation.
So would that then essentially save money?
You would just apply that to the
Yes.
cost of the rooftop.
Changes when.
Then yeah, I think we should get, I would like to see a quote then, or,
I would agree with that statement, but
So I think we need to look at it from a design team standpoint,
Hmm.
and give you a comparison.
Well,
so what would the ductwork look like? Would it be down
Yeah,
visible?
hallways,
there's definitely different ways we can address it. Like we've done schools with exposed ductwork, like when you go into a restaurant and you see the round duct above you.
I think we talked about that
address it
one
that
time.
way.
Oglesby has that.
So exposed?
Yeah.
Metamora schools, we ran it down on the side and put a soffit around it, so.
Okay.
it-
You don't really notice it?
So.
So can we think of this almost like three different options? One being rooftops that take care of both cooling and heating. Rooftops in addition to the boiler and mini splits, and then just mini splits.
If we did the rooftop, we would need mini splits, right?
Correct.
So,
Either rooftops or boiler and mini splits.
That's what you're at.
or rooftops in addition to the boiler, right? Because if we
Right,
do the.
there's
that's
three
what-
ways, that's what I misspoke, but that.
I don't- but I
I'm
think
not
he's
sure I would
saying-
combine those two,
Yeah, it wouldn't
because if
necessarily
you're gonna
be-
put in rooftop units, you may as well go to gas heat. There's no real cost benefit to putting in cooling only through the rooftop units and not buying the gas section. And with the situation you guys in, with the situation you're in with your current boiler, gas piping is very cheap in the grand scheme of everything else we're talking about. So I would recommend not doing that. Now, you could, the third option would be boiler plus some other kind of unitary classroom style system like a unit vent or Kleenex name is a barn unit, which is essentially it's a bigger furnace meant for classrooms that sits in and takes up a lot of wall space. But it's a package.
But Oglesby has the rooftop for heat and air, and then we have a boiler, correct?
That's a different type of system.
Would this, if we went with rooftop units for both air, heat and air, would this boiler over here still be active, needed, or would it still be working?
It still would be, 'cause it serves.
Oh,
everything
that's
that
right,
direction.
that's right, yeah, okay. Yeah. Yeah. It's gonna control that half of the building. Yeah, okay. Okay.
Can we put the bids out for the electrical and, well, we're,
While we're bidding this, I think it would be wise to have us put together that number and you guys can make an expedited decision.
we can
We
do
can
that.
still bid the boiler.
I was gonna say, not to muddy the waters.
That's-
Well, could we do 2 bid packages, and if they choose to not accept the boiler package,
Good.
you can essentially, we'll send it out to bid together and say, contractors, give me a price for electrical, give me a price for the boilers. And you'll have both prices in front of you, and if you choose not to accept the boiler job, you don't have to, but at least we haven't lost 4 weeks.
Time is
Like that.
Yeah.
Time is the
Yeah.
thing, yeah, because the boiler's probably got about the same 16, 12, I think it was 12-week lead time when I last talked to them, which is 3 months. So if we push it another month for discussion.
Yeah.
But we
We
have
start getting
till,
into like September by the time the
October.
boiler's here.
yeah, we have till probably October before we really. need
Right.
it.
Yeah, I think that would be beneficial to do that.
I think in the interest of time, that probably makes sense.
I think that would be-
Do we have to change how we vote on this then?
Really, the only thing we're voting on is just the
Just moving
authorizing
forward.
BCA to solicit project
Okay,
bids.
perfect.
Yeah, that won't change.
Let's create a solution.
Yeah, I like that. I just don't wanna push it back.
Oh, especially the electrical.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, the electrical, is there, I mean, we're on track with that. Is there any potential of that being, I mean, drawn out?
No, not that I can think of.
Materials or labor or anything like that?
No, labor shouldn't be an issue. Like I said, I talked to our gear supplier, 16 weeks roughly, so from the time we get the shop drawings and release it. ComEd said there's no problem getting transformers, so in the overall labor shouldn't be too drawn out, you know, stuff as well.
And unless there's a payment timeline, that's probably, in my opinion, the way you've got it laid out is probably like the least time critical. I mean, we've got it targeted to August to get it done, but because the way he's got it laid out is just backfeeding systems with a weekend shutdown or something, if it drags out, it's just that shutdown happens all later weekend.
Right.
It would be nice to have the electrical done a little bit. It just would, just
Yeah.
from the perspective of the fact that, like, we can't turn on a
Uh-huh.
laminator and an air conditioner at the same time.
I just want to clarify what we're doing here. We're upgrading the overall capacity of the service.
Right.
So if you have issues with things like that, tripping breakers, that's at a branch circuit level. So what we're doing is not going to fix that.
No.
That is an issue of too many things plugged into one circuit,
Mhm.
which originates at the branch panel. So that's just an overloaded circuit. What we're doing is not going to correct that issue.
We're replacing the heart, not the arteries and veins.
Well, that's
So how do we
Not
fix
the way I
arteries
understood
and
it.
veins?
We kind of needed all that.
Yeah,
Well,
that, I'm glad you clarified that, because we have major issues with, like, if we're hosting, for example, a basketball tournament, and we go to plug in a coffee pot,
Popcorn popper.
and then we do the popcorn popper, and then now we have blown circuits.
So, yeah, that's just a matter of, the entire circuit is overloaded. So if we need to address that issue, that will be a matter of figuring out what circuit is overloaded, bringing in new additional circuits to that area, provided there's available space in those panels. So what we're doing now, this is just the overall capacity of the service.
That being
We
said,
need to,
my question is then, what evidence do we have that we ever really needed more capacity?
If we want to do an HVAC.
It was just a question of the air conditioning, but I mean, if we're going with mini
and
splits,
just everything gets bigger over time.
If you,
600
Mini splits
amps
are
is not
total
very
load.
much for a school.
Even with mini splits, you will need an electrical service.
okay.
Yeah,
So either
we're
way,
not
we have
big
to do
enough.
that,
how do we address
Yeah.
the rest of that then?
the circuits.
Yeah, that's a bigger can of
Yeah, we
worms.
definitely
apparently.
need to do that. Is that something we can add to this?
and get it out at the same time,
Not
it's
at
definitely
the
something we
same
can follow up with as a separate
Okay.
project.
Yes.
That's like running,
I mean,
it's like running extra circuits, right? Like,
That's-
we'll have extra things, you
New
just
wire
put, you can add a
lines.
box and you put a new.
Plugging into a different
I
outlet.
feel like this is something we can address in-house.
upgrading boxes
Something
and
we can
adding
address
circuits and
in-house.
things like that.
It's not necessarily complicated, but it's a lot of tracking and following and.
Yeah, like, if we have we probably don't have a map of what our circuits are.
It just
Oh, I
seems
think
like,
we do.
from a
So if we have
day-to-day
map of our
basis
circuits, we can figure it out.
standpoint,
Right, if
and
we
this
have
is something that
too
they've been
many of
dealing
those
with
on a
for
20
quite a
year
while.
circuit.
We were under the impression that upgrading the service was going to solve that problem. If it's not, I mean, we need to be thinking about how to make sure that they can
Okay.
run those
Yep.
appliances
Just sign in if you would,
on
right there at the podium.
every day, so.
The simplest way to do it would be to identify where you need additional capacity, like crock pots or popcorn machines. Figure out where those are and just bring a new receptacle to that location on a dedicated circuit, so it serves that piece of equipment. That would be the.
It doesn't
most
sound
straightforward
like
way
we would
do
have
it.
to bid that out then, right? It wouldn't be that much.
Not necessarily.
Not
Depends how much you do. And if we're just running one circuit, yeah, we can call an electrician, they can run one
Okay,
circuit pretty easy. If we wanna do 20 different circuits, then the cost goes up.
all
But
right, we got you, Tracy. We'll
if we're gonna,
forget.
I mean, if there's stuff like that, we need to just list it out.
We just want to go over a laminator.
And an
Yeah.
air conditioner?
Okay,
Apologies if there was confusion, we were requested to address the future air
Yeah.
conditioning service needs.
Okay.
So, that was the-
Thank you, though, because I would have
Yeah.
been like, yeah, we got new servers.
I agree with you, yes. Okay, so then later we have to do that, okay.
So probably next steps is we'll hear back from you regarding the rooftop units and some of the scenarios that we talked about. And that will give us some information to go on to decide which direction we're going with that project. Any other questions?
It's exciting.
We're all on the same page?
Mhm.
Okay. Thank you, guys.
Appreciate it, guys. Thanks for coming. You're welcome to stay if you'd like to, but we understand if you
It's
don't want
quite,
to.
it's
okay.
down pretty far, yeah.
Alright, so we got 15 minutes. Okay, I'm gonna do this for 15 minutes. Unless we're gonna
Do
talk about something
we,
else.
did you,
What else we had? Strategic plan stuff. Can't see it there. Julie?
do you want to look at this paper packet?
Did you send your letter off, Julie?
I did.
Did you like that?
I loved it.
I wrote it and then
I'm pretty smart.
I had Copilot help me straighten it out.
I mean,
Make
I'm
it
not
look
sure it was
official.
gonna work.
It looked
but-
official.
What's this one?
I was trying to figure out how to use
If you want to look at it.
hear it in your.
What
There
do I
we go.
do? Can I have this
I
one
wrote
so I
her a
can
letter
use it?
first.
Since I can't get on my computer.
We have a little bit of time.
How much are we on that one?
You don't have
Hold
to
on,
choose
hold
that.
She was gonna pull,
Yeah.
she's gonna pull up the strategic plan
Trust
stuff.
me. Yeah, we're gonna show the edits.
We'll take, yeah, sure. One of these days, we're gonna figure out how to do this wirelessly.
I found one. It was like $80.
You can just use a Chrome stick. Like, I can stream to my TV with wireless use anything.
I'm just
But
gonna
if
get
you
this
do-
fancy cool thing,
But
cause
I
then I
think we
can
do-
use it whenever,
Yeah, you could do
but
that.
I'm not having to keep plugging
Then you have to have,
Makes sense to you.
then you have to have a
So
dongle.
lightning, I wasn't aware of the rooftop units.
Right.
I didn't even think about that, doing both. Maybe that might
Yeah,
be a route to explore, depending on what the, if they're gonna be able to service the building that way.
I just know he really wants us to replace those windows.
Well,
Me too.
we should have, I mean, shoulda, woulda, coulda at this point, but probably should have made windows.
They said they've received my inquiry, and they'll let me know within 2 business days.
Oh, all right. All right, we're on there, so you can talk about. There are 3 people watching, I hope 2 people saw that.
Julie's looking at
This is the updated graphic
Love it.
with the mission statement added, we talked about, stating and
Yes.
so I could change this to, rather than be the spark, to igniting, or ignite the spark, or some, however, whatever you guys
I like Be the Spark.
Okay. That's it. Yay.
Good job.
And then those are the additions. Adding.
Based on our discussion from the last time we worked on that.
Investing the inclusion of an adding STEAM program, provide an enhanced and extended day program, that was added, study the addition of a gifted program. Investigate the addition of additional IESA activities, playground and parking lot upgrades, investigate the relocation of the main office. Does that mean main office or foyer? Foyer and office location.
Main office / foyer,
Or entrance.
main entrance, yeah, probably would be more accurate.
And then finances, maintain adequate fund balances and are maintained. And then success metrics, we added surveys. I think that was everything that we talked about.
Why did we add that bit at the top of finances? Maintain adequate fund balances? I mean, we're legally obligated to do that, aren't we?
Well, no, there's
We
some,
had targets.
Yeah.
We had targets in there before.
Like-
For set numbers, but then we also have limits on how much we can have. We can only have so much, so we have to find this like sweet spot of how much, so.
I think that probably should always be, the goal is to have a fund balance. Kind of gives
I
you
just-
some
Seems
I
obvious.
mean,
wiggle
It seems
room.
obvious, just unnecessary.
for strategic plan, yeah, that's very fine. For like an actual goal, I'd be a little more specific.
You may want to name the funds that you want to have balance. And then there might be, I think there's something in our board policy about fund balances as well.
If there's something specific we want to be doing with the budget that's out of the ordinary, then I think it belongs here in the strategic plan, but that seems just very ordinary. I mean,
it might be so that future board members don't spend all the money. And then you can reference back to this, that you're supposed to do it this way.
Well, it kind of guides your spending throughout the year as well. You know, gives you kind of a guiding light, so to speak.
That's it. That's what we talked about.
So where do we house this now? Is it on our website?
No, because this is a draft.
Okay.
Do we have did we put years on it this time, or did we just leave it as general? We didn't put years on it. I couldn't remember where we did it.
I think if there's no additions or anything like that, or anything you want to change at this point, it'd just be
Adopted.
finalizing it and adopting it.
Last time we had a bunch of details in there. Are we gonna go to that extent, or is this?
I mean, the last one was pretty fancy. You guys had like
I
a
know.
brochure and
I know, isn't that
And
like-
you spent, you spent pretty good money on those brochures, all
Come up
90%
over here
of
so I
which
can
were sitting
take-
on top of my
Lost the
cabinets.
I only ever
Isn't
saw.
it coming? Anybody know?
I haven't heard either way.
But,
I'm sorry.
Didn't they
I
say
mean,
he
that's
was
fine.
coming?
They didn't say anything to me, it wasn't.
A couple page things.
Well, he's a track coach, so he's probably.
I was wondering if we had like
Honestly,
a nice,
yeah.
keep it as
Make
the
it right away.
2-page like this,
Obviously.
and then have it printed on like nice flyer type paper, brochure type paper, that you could have at like different events.
That'd be nice.
We can maybe fluff it up a little bit.
Maybe not laminate, if that's what, okay.
Just add a little color.
Okay.
Or make it black and white background. Yeah. I like your black part in the middle, but yeah. It's just,
I put a copy of it in here, somewhere where it's, you can say we have board meetings in there all the time. This is kind of our boardroom, you know. In some way, shape, or form, whether it's laminated or, I don't know how you want to do it, but I would put one in here somewhere. Maybe in the office too.
yeah, send it to us. Let me digest it a little bit.
Very okay.
See how specific.
Do you want to share it with you? Yes.
I'd like to have something, whether it's in the plan or not, but something that sort of makes sure we're always sort of hearing about the progress. So, you know, Matt likes to see specific goals and timelines and things like that. And I like that too. I'd like to, if we can attach some more detail or specific goals to, you know, when do we want these things accomplished, or when do we want to see some progress or hear about the progress being made on these?
Well, maybe we should
As we
print
go.
it out for next month, and so we can write on it dates.
Well, and I think for this, I think the highlight is fine, but then, yeah, maybe there's another section in the background that has the details.
I'm
Like
looking
Tracy
for
says, we can pass this out and then,
the fancy one that we have.
yeah, we have that first screen.
So I think I've got a copy of one in here.
I want to look at it, write on it some dates instead of up there, my old schoolness.
I sure.
Well, we have, and that's, well, we have the 3 years on there, so it's kind of trying to work it out over time.
Yeah.
But I think like last time we tried to have like a scorecard.
That
and
is
so
not
try to
right.
get there.
I've got a whole box of them. Stuff I can get.
Just don't want to, you know, what we did with Chuck was, you know, we went through this big elaborate process and produced a super nice pamphlet, and then we just kind of all forgot about it.
Well, it's so big.
And,
It's too much.
you know, I think the whole idea of the strategic plan was that we were setting some ambitious goals, some things, some specific things that we wanted to make progress on. And make
These
sure that we're,
Yeah, so
there's some accountability in the system for it, you know what I mean?
maybe we could get a printed copy for next month and put some dates on it.
I like that.
I shared it with you all.
Okay, I'll print them small.
Details.
All right,
We'll bring it for next time.
all right, 5-minute break until we start.
Yeah, go ahead.
And they were like, well, since both of you. Send out
5:45. Roll call.
McLaughlin,
Yes.
Bernadoni,
Yes.
Conzak,
Yes.
Riddick,
Yes.
Olson.
Yeah.
Gans, yes, Goff,
Yes.
Ketchum,
Here.
Malcolm.
We're on air.
We are on there.
Can I have everyone stand for the pledge, please?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands,
one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
So tonight, Kathy Fox is here. Kathy is the Executive Director at LEASE, our special ed co-op. So we're glad to have you here, Kathy.
Thank
Thanks
you.
for coming, and I'll turn the floor over to
Oh,
you.
hold on. I think you probably wanted to speak. Did you write your name down to speak, Mr. Finnegan? Yes, you did want to speak?
I'll wait till you're.
You want to, okay. Okay, sorry, go ahead. I just want to make sure we're going in the right order.
Can I come stand over here? So
Yeah,
I can read
sure.
my notes?
Mhm.
Okay, so I am here just to start a conversation about an idea that we have. First I'll let you know who I am. I'm Kathy Fox. I am the Executive Director of LEASE, which is the special ed co-op that you are a member of. We serve 27 districts, all of LaSalle County and all of Putnam County. You have several of our employees working in your building, and that's one of the reasons I was interested in talking to you all about this idea. So we are interested in starting an autism program for students within the co-op. Why? Number one reason is we have been trying to do this for some time. We looked at doing it probably about 3 years ago and decided to go a different direction, and we actually looked at going with a private therapeutic day placement. And some of you know that we have a new private therapeutic day placement called Menta in LaSalle. But that did not serve our purpose that we had looked at it. So, and we started that search because we had a total in 2022 of 204 kids that we were busing outside of LaSalle and Putnam County. And we didn't like that we were sending our students away. We wanted to keep our students in LaSalle and Putnam County. So in 2025, that number went up to 247 students. So our numbers in special ed have been growing about across the two counties, about 100 students a year. So that's an astronomical number. And one of the main reasons is we have students presenting with autism at all age levels, and that number is increasing. So we want to keep our kids here in LaSalle County and Putnam County. We are faced with some challenges with ISB and the budgeting. So one of the things that has come to light over the last few years is what they call proration rates. So that's the amount of money that you receive back when you send a student out to a private therapeutic day placement outside of the county or within the county. In 2023, you were able to get 98.48% back in that tuition that you were paying to that private therapeutic day. So that's 98% above your 2 per capita. So 2024, it went down to 91%. 2025, it went down to 77% reimbursement. In 2026, we're looking at between 50 and 60%. So that's your tuition. The second piece in all of that is transportation. So all our districts then are transporting students sometimes an hour or more, and those proration rates have done the same thing. So Currently, special ed transportation is down to 61% from 69% last year. Which you go back if I went back to 2024, those numbers were significantly higher. I have some other statistics if you ever want to hear them. I could go on and on about statistics and money. But like here is just a graph, and I don't know if you guys can kind of see this graph. This is transportation, and look how it's just climbing. It's crazy. So number one, we don't want our kids leaving the county. Number two, we don't want to put our kids, especially our special ed kids, on a bus for an hour. So our idea has been to look at our districts and see which districts have available space. And we've been looking at several. So I've sent out surveys to all the superintendents. 100% of our superintendents, all 27 of them, would like us to open a program. The survey that went out, do you have space? Do you have, do you have the resources for us? I didn't get a whole lot of response back because people don't. Well, I went to Tracy a few weeks ago and said, I think this is sort of the perfect spot for us because you already have our speech path, you already use our psych services, you use our social work, so we could tie in with that. You have a beautiful space. So our idea is not to start a program, not this coming year, so the 27 year, but the following year. We really want to do something. We want to do it right. We want to have the finances in order for us to do that. We want to have our criteria for students and how they're going to come in, the physical space set up. I will tell you, like, one of the perks, I am the superintendent of SOAR. I don't know if you are all familiar with SOAR. So it formerly was called Circuit Breaker, and we rebranded 2 years ago, and it is now called SOAR, Students Obtaining Achievement and Responsibility. That better fit who we were. So I have experience running programs like that and the finance part of it. So it would be set up and run similarly, financially the same. There are a few different things with ISB because the space that you have is connected to a building. So reimbursement might be a little tricky for me. I'm still working on that. But another thing, the space that I have in Peru that I run SOAR out of, we rent to the ROE Academy. So they pay us rent. So I have some experience with that. But another thing that is beneficial is the ROE Academy can apply for a maintenance grant. So we would be able to do the same thing for your building. So the maintenance grant is a matching grant, 50%. ISB gives you $50,000, and then we would provide $50,000 of our own local funds. Just like you guys do your maintenance grants, we could do the same thing on the portion of the building that we are renting. So I know it is not ADA compliant, and that could be one way that we could help you bring that up to code and make it ADA compliant. So these are things that are in our minds and that I'm working with my board on that might be something that you might, want to think about. So I'm just here today to start that conversation and to, put those thoughts in your mind that this could be a possibility. And, if you have any questions, like we're thinking of 4 classrooms, a sensory room, an office space. I looked at the small gym that you had. We would bring in all our own personnel. They would not be Tonica employees. They would be lease employees. We would do all of the, benefits, salary, workman's comp, the insurance, on the program would be provided by us. We would ask that you provide lunches. Right now, we purchase lunches from Peru Elementary and they're delivered to our program at SOAR. We would, if we opened, originally we were thinking of opening in another district with one classroom and we're gonna have a part-time administrator. If we opened with, I'm thinking 4 classrooms, we would probably hire our own full-time administrator. We would have our own full-time admin assistant for that person. Teachers, we usually do 1 teacher per class and 2 paras. But that's dependent on the population. Some our related service personnel already work here. So that we would, kind of share those people. I know it would question about nursing services. I'm not sure. Right now we do part-time. I don't know. It would depend on the population who came in, how much of those services you would need. So any other questions you might have for me?
How many kids would you be thinking with 4 classrooms?
So we like to keep populations like that at about 8 students per classroom. So you could have more than that, but we would probably not go over 10. So if you, like right now at SOAR, we have 8 kids in each class, but now it's getting further along in the year. And if a district requests, we typically can take, 9 or 10 kids. If it's a good class, we have, the behaviors are in check. Our students are all doing well. We'll add students to the classroom.
So it'd be like 4, basically 4 grade levels.
Yep,
You wouldn't
so it'd
spread
be
it out,
blended.
right?
We do blended
Oh, yeah.
grade levels, like a K1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6, and 6, 8. That can change from year to year, because if we have a whole bunch of second graders, we might just do a second grade class. And then not so many, middle school students, we would just do, that as a 6, 8 group, and maybe, we're always changing. Like at SOAR, we're always changing our classroom makeups. So.
If you guys had a part-time nurse, could we share your part-time nurse and make her a full-time nurse at this building?
That would be, yes, that would be, I would love that.
We would love that too. wouldn't we?
Yeah. I was just able to get one for SOAR 2 days a week. So,
Were you
yeah.
thinking about having all the classrooms in the upstairs?
Yes. So you don't have a chairlift, so that would have to happen before.
So that's what she talked about, the maintenance grant that she would write.
So this is,
Well, we're not compliant down there either, so I didn't know which way
this is pretty much self-contained within lease. So you're running, totally different curriculum, your own employees and stuff like that.
You would really not have a whole lot, like we have our own methodology on how to educate those students, our own curriculum, we purchase all that, furniture, materials, the whole shebang.
You said you're hoping we'll take lunch?
So,
Okay.
yeah, because we can't, the only options around here is to partner with a school district to make the lunch. So like who makes our lunch, we pick them up, we bring them, and then we bring the school trays back. The only other place is Hy-Vee does it, but it's a little pricey.
Would they go to the cafeteria? I don't know how that would work.
Probably not.
Okay.
It depends.
Yeah.
Probably not. They would probably still eat in their classrooms.
So essentially, you're just leasing the space from us to be able to run the school like you do with SOAR and ROE Academy.
Yeah.
Like, what type of term do you usually have on those agreements? Is it year to year, or will we get a long-term commitment out of you for that?
So with the ROE, we've done a 1-year agreement. Just recently, we did a 5-year agreement just to allow us, because we were able to draw some capital outlay funds out of the state by making them 5-year agreements. So,
I mean, ideally, I think beneficially for us to have a long-term commitment to utilize that space and bring that up into, you know.
so I would like that also, because if we're starting a program like that,
Investment, yeah.
the investment that we're gonna put into that is significant, and especially if we're gonna start doing maintenance grants and putting $50,000 into your building, you know, maybe 1 year, maybe multiple years,
Yeah.
so.
The data that you provided, so when we look at the number, you're talking 8 to 10 kids per grade level, so you're at, you know, anywhere from 32 to 40, you know, kids. How, I mean, obviously the need's gonna continue to grow. What do the projections look like 5 years down the line? Like, I mean, obviously there's a lot of space over there, but do you see eventually needing to gain more space?
I probably, possible, that's a possibility. You know, at some point you have to say you can only do so much in a program, and that's kind of how we've, you know, ROE having more with SOAR. I think our next venture would be those kids that are here in elementary, how are we going to serve those kids when they leave here? So the next venture would be to create a high school program. So I would probably not grow it here, the elementary, and move on to the high school, get that up and, you know, something up and running in one of the high schools before I would expand.
Okay, and then as far as, let's say we have students who need those services, if it were in our building, would we have the ability, would our students take priority through that program?
So in the agreement, typically what we've done is that district, like if you're housing the program, you're guaranteed so many spots.
Correct.
Mm-hmm.
So would this be for like the local kid, like you're not gonna ship somebody from Seneca over here? You'll probably
We
have
could.
to come, oh, I didn't know.
As
if you-
long as
with
they
your
are
numbers,
in
if you
the
have-
co-op. So our co-op is all of LaSalle County and all of Putnam County.
Yeah, I just,
So-
with your numbers, it seemed like you'd need multiple places.
Yeah, well, not all of those kids. So the numbers of students like that I spoke of, the 247, we're just looking at serving students with autism. And sometimes we have kids that fit the program because we function what we call structured teaching, and they benefit from the same teaching methods as students with autism. So say somebody with Down syndrome or a significant.
Oh, so that's not autism, then,
So
that's
that's
the
not
numbers.
autism. So
Okay,
it could be,
I misunderstood. I guess,
it
yeah.
could be ED, BD students.
Okay.
Mhm.
So the 30 to 40 that you're talking about within the 4 classrooms here would be the number of students you're serving within your autism needs.
Mhm.
Okay, so we would be
Yeah.
kind of the dedicated autism site for Lease.
Yes, correct. Yeah. You know, we go back and forth I go back and forth with the board. Some people just wanted autism and some people are okay opening it to students who would fit that need. And, you know, the structured teaching and the methods that we use to educate those students would also benefit from, which.
Do you see a pathway for our students to interact with the kids in the autism program as a good learning it's a good learning opportunity experience for them?
I always believe that that is a good thing. So as much as possible, I understand that, you know, not everyone is willing to do that, you know, but I think it's a very good learning experience for everyone.
When I was here, there was, I'm not sure what it was called, but we were kind of integrated with them, but also separate. So we learned sign language, different things like that.
So many, many years ago, there was a program called the Keys program, and that was a lease program that was housed here.
That's probably what it was.
That was for students with autism also. So, and it closed.
It's okay,
Within
don't
the
date
last
me.
10
Sorry.
years.
Yeah.
Please don't say the year.
Yeah.
A little over 10 years.
Obviously, you're retiring at the end of this year, so
Yes.
congratulations on
Thank
that.
you.
But your replacement was just hired, correct, I believe?
She was hired. I spent the last 2 days with her.
And she's on board with.
She is
with the
on
program
board.
revision.
She's on board. She does not have the experience that I have with educating students with autism. So she's actually going to go through our structured teaching program this summer. and learn what our methodology is. So, and how to teach students. She comes from an ED/BD background, but
What does that stand for? I'm sorry.
emotional and behavioral disabilities.
Okay.
I like to say challenges, but. So, and that's what SOAR is. But yeah, she is on board.
Okay.
So, and it's in our strategic plan also that we do this or attempt.
Okay.
But I mean, of all the school districts that I've gone and looked at, I think it's a perfect fit. I know Tracy has the experience, and knowledge to assist with that. The location is perfect. It's pretty central to me, you know, as central as we can get. Your building fits the mark. So, and we would then have to make a decision, you know, on, you know, what would rent look like for us. I will tell you right now that I rent one floor to the ROE Academy, and they are paying $52,000 a year. They also do maintenance grants also to upkeep the building. We did get $200,000 of capital outlay money from the state of Illinois to help us.
And that $52,000 can go pretty much discretionary money for us to put where we need it, correct? Right, so we don't have to have that outlined, so that can go directly to any sort of program we want.
Go to our Fund 10.
Yeah.
Go to our Fund 1.
So.
This is an exciting opportunity for us as well as you, Kathy, and Lee. So
I'm
looking forward. When do you need a commitment from us on this? Obviously, there's some time if you're not looking to start next fall. It sounds like
there's some time, so I'm working on more of the financials right now for our next board meeting and creating a timeline.
When is the next board meeting?
It is April. It's not the first Wednesday, it's the second Wednesday of April. So we're not looking for an answer right away. It might be more like June, I'm thinking.
If I was to read the room, I'd say we're all pretty excited about the opportunity. Without asking everybody individually, but.
Yeah, I think it would be a great opportunity for both of us. And it makes me, like you say, I know I'm retiring, and this is like, I've been trying to do this for years, and now I don't want to retire because, yeah. Oh, well. We all have to go at some time, right?
Yeah.
Thank you.
But,
All right,
yeah.
thank you. Thanks,
Thank
Kathy.
you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yeah, and I will be in touch. Okay?
Thank you.
And if you have questions, let Tracy or Bob know, and they know how to get a hold of me, and, yeah.
Thanks for your time.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Thank you. Mr. Bennigan?
I'm here representing the American Legion, and Mike Kiss and Cody Cochran, you have pictures of them in the hallway. Jim Dyer, before he passed away, gave the Legion Hall a poster he'd made that has their names on his poster. And I didn't want to copy the poster exactly because it'd be plagiarism. So I designed my own, and I'm looking for permission to put a sign up at each entrance of the school, either at the grade school side or the high school side, in the grassy area where it's not been mowed, between the sidewalk and the flower bed. And I need your permission to, if you're allowed to do that. I mean, you could think it over and think about what you want to do. But because Mike Pitts and Cody Calkins died in Vietnam in '69, I'm gonna make reference to the class of '67 also. I talked to Joe Kratopolsky as well as Chuck Lewis, both of that class members of it, and they agreed that it'd be a good idea to memorialize them. I think about dedicating this about July 4th in reference to the 250th celebration of the United States. So
Would they be like upraised above the ground?
yes, it'd be on a post. It's 2 foot by 18 inches. I get the signs made from staples on aluminum plates on the back. And if you want to do this, let me know, and I'll take care of everything. Just sign the poster.
Memorial walk anyway.
You can think
Yeah,
about
do you
it.
want that as
Just like
specific?
Memorial Walk.
Tracy's doing a memorial walk, so this would fit pretty well with that.
Where are you thinking about placing them, or you don't know yet?
Well, out here at the breezeway,
Uh-huh.
there's a spot between a flower bed and the sidewalk.
Oh, yeah.
It's about this wide on the grass where it has to be mowed around. My thinking is, I don't want to have somebody mow around this thing to take care of
I
it.
don't appreciate that.
And also on the other side where the flagpole's at, you got a memorial sign of 50 years on one side. If I put it on the other side of that, I appreciate that. So,
I think we're good with that?
Yep, I think that's great.
and one more thing, I went, looked at the flag, we take a walk around the school probably every day. And I noticed that the flag out in front of the high school, I don't know what you call it now, this high school, is tattered on the bottom. Bottom, I had it come off. I tried to bring it down, but the person put the light up there, fastened the cable clamp around the rope.
Oh,
You can't get it up or down, so
okay.
whoever put the sign up there, be sure to take the sign up. All right?
Thank
That's all I
you.
have.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Bennigan. Okay.
I think Tracy, or Amy was on for PTC, or you gonna talk about that later?
Okay, Amy, Brian, you see that?
So
Amy?
it was,
PTC had asked me if I would, bring you the pancake sausage breakfast tickets. They asked that each of you would take 5 to sell. And they were hoping that maybe you would come to the breakfast because people love to see you. Anyway, and Ricky said to let you know how much she appreciates all of you. So I'll put those there. There's enough for 5 each.
And that's on April
19th.
19th.
Yeah.
And they're selling sausage too.
Oh, yes.
It's
It's
so
wonderful breakfast. I think all of you came last year, I feel.
Yeah, it was a good turnout.
Yeah,
Very good.
it should be a really nice turnout.
it looks like Bob made a change to the agenda. Can I have a motion to approve the updated March 18th, 2026 agenda?
motion. I'll second.
All right, McLaughlin,
Yes.
Bernadone,
Yes.
Konzak,
Yes.
Burdick,
Yes.
Olson.
Yes.
Gans, yes, Goff.
Yes.
Everybody get a chance to look at, do you want to talk about anything in that section?
Just the FOIAs. These are rather extensive FOIA requests that were back on February 9th, I believe. Both because of the litigious nature of both of these requests, I had Walt craft a response, and those are attached in there as well. So,
I tried to search that one guy's lawsuit. I couldn't find anything on it. I don't know if it's
I haven't heard anything, and none of my colleagues have said anything about it either. I think it's a single person
Yeah.
that was, I think it was targeting a certain district, but for some reason he targeted the entire
Yeah.
state. So,
Well,
yeah.
And then, aren't we allowed to charge a fair value for these? Like, we had to pay Walt to do this. Can we charge this guy for?
Good question.
Or can we,
That's a good
can we
question. I'll have to
recoup
look
any of
into
that? Like, I mean, we had to go to our lawyer for this FOIA request. And I know he put something in there about if there was a fee to let him know.
I'll ask him. I'm not sure, but I'll ask.
This new report from Kelsey is pretty nice.
That is from Amy Shelley. Yeah,
This is from Amy. This is Amy's first time doing it? All right, cool. Okay, did everybody get a chance to look at everything else in that section? Can I have a motion to approve the consent agenda items?
Motion.
I'll second.
All right, Bernadone,
Yes.
Konzak,
Yes.
Burdick,
Yes.
Olson,
Yes.
Gans, yes, Goff.
Yep.
McLaughlin.
Yes. Now I think about that. I don't know for sure. I'd have to check for sure, but let's say Walt says, yes, you can do that. There's no guarantee that this guy's gonna pay. You know what I mean? But
It's just more out of his hands.
Yeah.
Like, it seemed like a lot of work.
Yeah.
Like, can you just say, like, if he says yes, can you say, pay me $50 and then I'll give you the request?
No, we can't do that.
No?
Because it's FOIA, but I think if it takes an unreasonable amount of time, I think we're allowed to charge something. So
I'll find out about that.
You wanna go over the finances? You know,
I'm sorry.
do you wanna go through any of the finances or?
Yeah, just real quick, we are 67% of the way through the school year, 87.62 revenues, over 62.82 in expenditures. The one thing that just looking down through their transportation, I understand that these percentages and figures are as of the previous month at the end of February. So we're due an EBF payment that will make a difference in the transportation, and those percentages will look a little bit different as of next month. But other than that, we're in pretty good shape for where we're at. It's just a matter of this point in the year, maintaining and making sure we stay within some boundaries and finish the year in the positive in each fund. That's always the goal.
Can I have a motion to approve the March financial report?
So moved.
I'll second. Konzak.
Yes.
Riddick.
Yes.
Olson.
Yes.
Gans, yes. Goff.
Yep.
McLaughlin. Yes. Bernadone.
Yes.
Tracy, I think you're up.
All right, hello. So we started IAR testing today. We had a little bit of a delay of game due to some unpredicted
nature.
snow that happened. Had a little blip, but everything worked out pretty well today, so yay for that. Next Friday is kindergarten pre-registration, so calling all rising kinder families. Come and join our wonderful team. On the 26th, actually that's this Friday, sorry. So then on the 26th, we have Matt Wilhelm. I don't know if any of you are familiar with him. He's he was on America's Got Talent. He's a BMX bike trickster guy, but he also has a message about anti-bullying. So we think the kids are really gonna enjoy that
I've had
assembly.
two different districts. I was administrator, and he's fantastic.
Yeah.
The kids will have a great time with
Yeah. So that's next Thursday at 1 p.m. Then we have spring break. And when we come back from spring break, we have a very special guest coming, a mobile dairy farm. So I don't know what the cow's name is, but we're excited about this. So it's a free program. And it's from the Southwest Dairy Museum. And we were able, it's a 32-foot classroom. So they're going to come, to our area here. They're going to pull up and they're going to talk about what it takes to run a dairy farm. We were able to get them because we have Lost It coming up because I think the minimum was 100 students or 200 students. 200. It was 200, but I was like, could we please, if I can guarantee 150? So we got them to come. So Lawson will join us for that, and they're gonna present outside, and hopefully the weather, I think it'll be a cool experience.
Mhm.
I was gonna crack a joke, like it'll be very moving, but anyway. Anyway, April 10th, we have also then Mr. Copeland is coming, and he is going to talk about bicycle safety with all of our students. There's been, a little bit of concern with, the rules of the road and kids not really following best practices when it comes to riding bikes around town and things like that. So he's going to talk to, he's going to have a K2 presentation, and then he's going to talk 3 through 8th, and he's going to talk a little bit more in depth with the older kids, just like, and also talk about some new laws that might be coming into play with e-bikes, because I don't know if you've seen, but there's people that just don't, like, they're fast and they can.
It's crazy.
Yeah, and stop signs don't seem to be a thing with some people, so anyway, we're gonna talk about that.
Do we have any e-bikes in town? I don't think we do. Just the scooters.
Riley's big concern is the e-scooters.
Yeah.
We've got a few
We got
kids that run around
e-scooter.
town.
My kids got kind of screwed over on that.
Yeah.
So that's also gonna be that, anything that's motorized is gonna be addressed, so we wanna make sure our kids are safe. All right, so talked about IAR curriculum planning, so we're looking at ELA and social studies. We kind of put a pin in it because of state testing. When we get back from spring break, that's going to be at the forefront so that we can kind of put it to you guys, which ELA curriculum for sure we're going to be looking at, potentially social studies. One thing that I'd like for us to consider is, right now I've had Brianne Gainier coming in from the ROE. She's been excellent. She's been helping the staff K-8 build out our curriculum mapping for math. And so curriculum mapping is essentially
putting a roadmap together for the entire year and making sure that, you know, you're hitting the units that you need to hit, getting everything done in it, but it goes very in depth. We started working on that. It's a lot of work to get it done. And so we're trying to build that in and get that momentum going. And so, but if there's a world where we may need a couple days or a week in June, I would love for the teachers who want to come in to be able to complete out that math. So math is completely mapped out for the year K-8. So that would be really helpful, you know, for any new teacher that were to walk in, they'd be able to just have it. And then in August, when we get the new ELA curriculum, Brianne said that she and other instructional coaches could come in and help start launching us for building out ELA curriculum mapping and get like a head start on that before school actually starts. It'd be really great actually to have even the first 9 weeks planned out for everybody, especially looking at new curriculum. So we'd love to have us consider having our teachers be able to do that. And then PBIS, we had our quarter 3 celebration on March 13th. I don't know if you saw our Facebook post, but one of the activities was a STEAM activity. The kids were just basically given a bunch of materials and they're like, okay, you have to build a boat and then it has to float for 30 seconds. And then whoever has the most rubber ducks wins a rubber duck. I mean, but they did it. And I think that the top boat held 60 ducks. So wow, good things. Hands-on activity, and it was great to see which kids, because they get to choose which kids actually signed up for that activity. They had a ball. They had so much fun.
So
we may have sprung a leak a little bit in the pool, but
it was a huge hit in our household.
Yeah, it was great for our kids who are like hands-on learners, and they had so much fun. Anyway, so that was cool. Our quarter 4 celebration is on the 20th. Reteach program is going strong. In fact, we're getting more and more kids nominated, so we're actually needing more teachers because we did the 4-to-1 ratio. So that's good. I've been working on the extended day coordinators. So I'd like to talk a little bit about what that could look like for next year. So I would like to get that kind of rolling. I did put out the interest survey. I had 21 responses as of, I think I looked at it yesterday. And so hopefully I'm reminding people to please fill out that interest survey, because it just kind of garnering like how many people would be interested in before school care? How many would be interested in after school care? What kind of activities would we like to see? That kind of thing.
Did you send it out via any of the school things other than just Facebook? Did you send out like a link or email or anything?
I sent an email to all of our current families.
Okay, that's fine. I know so not everybody's Facebook.
Right. I sent
filled it out. You probably got once more.
Yeah. But if you have suggestions on how to get it out too, like.
Yeah.
I know I asked people. I'm like, just share it out.
Yeah, I was trying to
Can
think.
you do a QR code?
QR code at the post office or something.
Huh?
Yeah, we could do a QR code and put it at the post office.
I can do that.
Just for places where people are.
Post office and the bank.
Yeah,
And the bar.
the bars.
2 bars.
Just Casey's, Casey's is a really good spot too. Just to make sure it's out for people, because I think, like we talked, I think people have interest in it.
Yeah, I can make a cute flyer too with it and stuff like that, so that's fine. I know we talked a little bit about, for the calendar, instructional minutes, and so I did calculate out all the instructional minutes that we would be experiencing for next year. I don't know if you guys had an opportunity to look at that. So per ISB, it's 300 minutes or 5 hours a day is the minimum, and so with that would be 52,800 minutes in a school year. For middle school, I calculated out the number of early dismissals and then regular school days, and that would get us to 55,166 minutes for middle school. And I even did what the model would kind of look like based off of 45-minute periods, which I want to do for next year. And that would be 7 periods plus a study hall RTI. And I did also calculate in passing periods and lunch, including and then I also did how many minutes that would be for the 145 dismissal for middle school. So we're looking at 362 minutes in middle school for regular day, 282, and then elementary minute model
looking at 330 minutes, and then a 145 dismissal, 270. So elementary, again, with the goal would be 52,800, we'd be at 55,200. So we will definitely be hitting our instructional minutes. Any
Very
questions?
nice.
Oh, thank you, Beth.
Me too.
That took me a hot minute, but I'm glad I did it. I was, because I want to make sure we're hitting what we need to hit too. It's important to me because every minute matters. All right, Braves of the Month for that's supposed to say February. We had Charlie at K2, that, I had the right kids, I just haven't written them. And then Everly was 3rd through 5th, and then Liam was 6th through 8th. Steam Fair was a huge success if you were able to attend. We had a really nice number of attendants there. It was fun, it was interactive. Kudos to Ms. Schneider, Mr. Teagarden, Ms. Wenzel helped out. There were so many people that helped to make it, a great evening. There was a really cool drone demonstration.
Yeah,
And
that
the
was
kids
awesome.
loved
The
that.
kids were so mad they had to leave, but
Yeah.
they were really
It
cranky.
was so
They were really cranky, so,
They were tired.
yes.
But I think I can just see it expanding more every year, And then finally, congratulations to our ROE Excellence in Education Award winners, Amy and Bretta as the teacher, and Marina Duncan for support staff. Well deserved. The staff, everybody voted, and it was a tight race, but it was good to see so many people nominate their peers. So good. So good things going on. Any questions?
No.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Trace.
Thank you.
Athletic Director report, Tricia.
Okay, we currently are wrapping up with Scholastic and bowling. Track practice started yesterday. Kids came to school a little sore today, but we're thrilled to go back tonight. We have 26 students who are participating in track, so that's about equal to what we had in volleyball, so it's a big group. Brianne Zachary is helping by volunteering as the 3rd person. And I think they will definitely need it. Let's see, the track schedules have been confirmed and shared with the coaches. They were gonna put them in Team Reach today. We originally had 4 home meets scheduled at St. Bede, but their schedule filled up, so we're only gonna have 3 home meets at St. Bede. And we picked up a regular meet at LP and another one at Memorial. We ordered the cleats for their shoes and clipboards, because that's what the coaches said they needed for the season. Very minor in the big scheme of things. Volleyball is finished. They didn't end up with a wonderful record, but I did see a lot of growth in a lot of those players. And their hearts are definitely in it. That's just one of those sports, I think. We need to decide which tournaments we want to schedule for next year. And this may be something to kick around. It is our turn to host the boys basketball conference tournament, which is a pretty quick one. It's one of those like half a day Saturday, a Tuesday, and a Thursday or something. I do have schedules for everything but Scholastic and bowling for next year, and I'm now plugging in officials for those. So I guess if we can make a decision, I don't know how you want to go about that. But about the tournaments, I have had a lot of interest emails, hey, are you going to have this tournament next year? Because we want to sign up. So I gave a list of what we need for fall sports to Joanne. Things like a case of game balls, a case of softballs, for both baseballs and softballs, and score books. and to get the field chalk. As of today, the balance, and things are still coming in and going out, is about $7,700 in our tournament account. We sent the survey about the banquet. Almost all parents said, we don't want a 3-hour event where they replay the whole year. And they talked too much. I mean, we really got some good feedback. They just basically want their kid to be recognized for their achievements, you know, cookies and punch kind of thing, and go home in a decent hour. So I think.
Good deal.
I think, yeah. That's doable. It won't kill the budget. And then it'll keep everybody happy. Let's see here. As far as coaches that are needed, the only coach that I've had resign is the assistant softball coach, and that's simply because her daughter is going on to high school. I do know that Kathy Ricky won't be coming back for the assistant bowling because hers also ages out. I would like permission to send handwritten thank you notes to everyone who donated something for our tournaments, because we had a lot of donations, and I just.
Yeah, that would be nice of you.
I think those kind of thank yous go by the wayside sometimes.
Yeah.
And then finally, I was recently diagnosed with a medical condition that will prevent me from continuing with this position. So I do apologize, it definitely wasn't in my plan. But I don't feel like I'm doing any service when I can't predict what's going to go on.
Yeah, you gotta take care of yourself.
Yeah. And I'm more than happy to pass on what I've already learned. And I tried to keep everything organized in folders, and we'll be happy to work with whoever takes over.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks, Tricia.
Okay, PTC's on here, but I think we're good with what you already said.
Yep, I think that's it.
Capital projects, do we want to discuss?
Well, just if there's any other discussion, if anybody wants to discuss anything, we already really discussed a lot about the projects that we have out there. Had a good meeting with Matt, the Lamps, and the engineers, so appreciate him coming. But if you have any other comments or anything, this would be the time to bring them up. Otherwise, we can move on.
We probably should go over it because we've made some, so they're gonna do the power into the building, but that's not gonna fix our power at the other side of the building. So we gotta still address that. And then they wanna give us quotes for the rooftop for heating and air. And if we do the rooftop heating and air, we don't have to do the boiler, potentially, probably. They would say we don't have to do the boiler if we do the rooftop heating and air.
Rooftop heating and air, talking like heat pumps and whatnot, or those
Gas
rooftop
heat.
units.
Well, they'd be more than one rooftop unit.
It'd be a
It'd be
commercial,
2 or 3 rooftop
like a
units.
package unit.
Yeah, because they said that
Yeah.
They're package unit.
the little units won't
Most likely.
last 5-10 years.
10, 15.
The little ones.
Yeah, little ones are 10, 15, your rooftops are 15, 20.
Okay.
So that's the next step, is Matt will give us some numbers as far as the rooftop units, what they would cost, and we'll sit down and look at that as a
Rooftops
group.
would give us the
and,
heat, the air, and the air quality.
So they're gonna bid it out in 2 different bids, the boiler and the electrical.
And dehumidify.
so it'll help with.
Essentially, they're saying we're gonna buy the units twice if we do that route, and it won't dehumidify, and if we do the
And
bigger.
won't heat either.
It won't.
Oh, he keeps the timeline that he's already established. We don't have to stretch it any further than.
Efficiency wise, are they comparable?
You said they double the cost.
They're more expensive, but if you're gonna do those instead of a boiler, then, you know,
That was what, 130,000 with boiler?
and it'll be a little bit more than that, because, I mean, with the rooftop units, you're gonna have to pipe, you run duct work and that kind of stuff, and so that'll be a little bit more of a cost, but, you know, again, if you're not doing the boiler, then maybe it's a wash at that point.
It only makes sense to me if you're able to not do the boiler. If you're able to save on the boiler.
Correct. There's no sense in doing
Otherwise,
both.
I don't see
And
any
to take
reason
the
to go.
boiler out, they wanna take a wall out.
But when you look at, I mean, just with the conversation we had today with Lise in that space, you're gonna have to heat and air condition that building as well.
Well, that end, but already, the boiler down there would be, that would.
We're on two separate boilers?
Mhm.
Okay.
We have to air condition.
So
that
the,
site.
If she could potentially do that.
yeah, the rooftop units, we're talking about this end of the building.
Okay.
That end of the building would not be controlled by the rooftop units.
We just have to watch the boiler on this side though, because they said it's super old too.
Yeah, it's younger than this one.
Yeah, Joe said that actually this boiler over here is.
We were just talking today, he hasn't had, since he's been here, hasn't had any issues. So, yeah, knock on wood when I say that, so.
That boiler would still have to heat the gym. Right, it's not like we can get rid of it.
What's
We
that?
still need that boiler to heat the gym
I don't know,
and heat here.
does it?
The units that's on the west wall in there bring in heat to the gym. I don't know that that's connected to the boiler well, I have to ask Jim about
And the
that, for
other
sure.
thing that I don't recall them bringing up that they brought up today was that they're going to have to, once the boiler's off, they need to test for asbestos.
Everywhere.
Yeah, inside, well, it's if we're replacing the
For the-
boiler.
For the old boiler, yeah,
Yeah.
right, but they're gonna have to do the bricks inside, they have to do the underlayment, and then
Understood.
also the window.
Yeah,
So-
there
But if
will,
they remove the boiler, they still have to abate it too, right?
Yeah,
right,
So regardless, we're abating something,
that'll be additional cost.
we wouldn't, if we leave the boiler
Which wasn't a
there, we don't have to
conversation.
abate anything.
and that's expensive.
And we don't have to blow the wall out
We
either.
don't have to blow the wall out.
And then rebuild.
So, I mean, like I said, the next step is we'll hear some quotes from Matt as far as the rooftop units.
We might wanna actually consider this.
Yeah,
Part of the rooftop plan would also include a lot of ducting also.
Yeah, you gotta run duct work.
That was one of
I
the
mean,
considerations.
more than likely, I'm guessing part of it's probably gonna be exposed, which in my opinion probably is, I don't know if that matters, but aesthetically, there's exposed.
Are they gonna use
duct
flex
work here,
ducking
so-
or
I'm sorry?
are they gonna use like flex duct?
I don't know,
They
we
didn't-
talked about that
Didn't get that far.
in that detail, yeah.
That's the industrial look, right? That's the new fancy thing.
For
It can-
two or three
It
more
can be
years.
in-house, it can
Right.
be, but,
It's collapsible.
yeah.
It's just worth, another option worth looking at.
Mhm.
If
He said the one, they built like a soffit around it, and you don't even notice it.
Yep.
Like going down a hallway.
Yeah, but there's all increased costs on top of the more expensive units.
Well, but like I say, if you're not gonna do the boiler, then that maybe would be a wash, maybe it would be a savings even. I don't
for the
know.
boiler,
Otherwise-
225 or 275?
It was 224.
So they said the mini splits will only last how many years?
10, 15?
10 to 15, what I heard.
That's what you said today.
Say what? I took notes. What was the question?
I was a little, honestly, I was a little suspicious at first when he started talking about the rooftop units and kind of poo-pooing the mini splits. Because it sounded to me, like it was mainly just to save us from feeling clammy occasionally.
Well,
It's
I
just-
think he brought up mold.
But I mean, we don't have mold issues now and we have the same situation.
Does anybody know? I don't wanna.
We don't have air now.
Yeah, we don't.
If you bring in
It's like
any kind of air, the
Cold
mini
air
splits
is
is gonna have the potential for
Suppose if we're gonna
mold.
spend the money, we need to look at all the options
Yeah.
and decide together, just to be sure.
But the electrical's proceeding because we have a grant.
Yes. We need
And
an
then we need to
electrical either
address
way.
the circuits down the road.
Right.
Well, that should just be we need a list of what the problems are and then we can attack them.
So many problems.
Talk to my husband. I'll be like, Ron, can you just?
We need to
Oh,
make a list.
one other thing, I
Yeah,
think
there's a list.
everybody else ought to know. We found out that the electrical upgrades do not solve the kind of day-to-day issues they have with circuits. So I was under the impression that the upgraded capacity essentially solved all those problems they have with appliances, overloading appliances. It does not. That's a different.
We don't have to
set of
do that
problems.
out, we can just do that.
That's the list that Tracy's gonna give us, where all the problems are.
Yeah, give us some.
We're gonna go around with coffee makers and laminating machines and popcorn machines. Just start plugging stuff in and see when we blow breakers.
Well, I mean, all you have to do is come work a tournament.
Then you'll, we'll
Yes,
get
you
results.
can't have the popcorn in while you're doing coffee, and then you have to make sure you put the coffee back in so it's not cold.
Yeah, we gotta fix that.
Right.
Yeah,
I'm just.
Okay, so that was in our capital project, so
Agreed.
we
Was that
good.
recording that meeting, that portion of it?
Mhm.
Yep.
So I can go back and watch that.
Yep.
They might, I will say the last time I tried to listen to them, it was very soft, so try to find some good setup. Tune in well.
Yeah, they're back there in the speakers.
I took copious notes.
There's a lot of notes over here, so.
Yeah, if you guys
The
could
two of
share
us,
your
we
notes with
probably caught
everybody.
almost
Yeah,
everything they said.
if you could type your notes so we can read them and decipher them.
The Tonica Village, that was a discussion that Jared and Jennifer would
Yeah.
be taking on.
You
there.
stayed the whole time, I was fighting this thing off, but, we just went in and, go ahead.
Either way, we went, I think, to sort of redouble our efforts with,
Mhm.
you know, establishing a good relationship with the village. And I kind of briefed everybody as to like what our intent was.
Mhm.
Jen went down a list of some stuff that we've got going, some exciting things that we've got going here at the school. We talked a little bit about, you know, some cross-promotional opportunities, but I think my intent and what I'd really like to do long-term is find ways that we in the village can work together to boost pulling new families into the district, right? So we have a concern about enrollment, they've got a concern about a declining population. We can both work together to try to like pull that whole thing in a different direction. Jen mentioned something having to do with like a federal grant that would support housing for new hires.
There's, yeah.
I mean, we've got a shared interest in that between the school and the village. So I think trying to explore opportunities like that, what can we both do for each other that might start pulling our numbers back up?
Yeah. And I think, yeah.
We talked in all our new strategic plan update has playground equipment. I think we talked last time about trying to join with them on something.
Yeah, I wasn't
to
sure
use.
if we wanted, which direction we wanted to go with that. I started we're looking for,
I mean, I would try to find something, like some sort of grant where we, you know, can get something for the school and for the park potentially. Maybe
Like
we
a
group it together,
open
we can get a
spaces
discount.
grant. They were
Look at
approved for 2 different grants. One when Kevin was here, and they took one over the other. I don't know which one. One, they had to have a timeline, the other one they didn't. So that might still be available, the other grant money.
It is possible to use school maintenance grant money for playground equipment. I think I mentioned that before in another meeting, but.
Yeah,
just
but
have
between
to-
that and the
be
TIF money
considered
that
a
we could potentially get,
object.
I think
We
we
probably have
could-
to come together with like a quote.
Yeah, but
put together
at
a
least
project.
that's a place to start, I feel like.
Okay.
'Cause between that, like all this stuff that happens in Tonica, like, I feel like there'd be a lot of pull for playground equipment.
And I do want to ask them about the safe walk to school. So there's like, I'm walking my dog and some of the sidewalks are grass.
That would be nice as well.
Yeah, I think over the winter, we were wanting to sort of broach the topic of making sure that the village was taking care of their side of the block and clearing the snow, like where we were clearing snow up to the bridges, but it doesn't really do a whole lot for those
Snow
families that are
clearing,
walking.
Sidewalks, okay.
You know, so there's.
I think like as long as one of us or both of us can attend this as much as possible, that'll help too. I'll get used to seeing us. I think we may have a little nervous. I didn't know when we were there.
It's because they probably watch and they know I'm gonna be asking for tip money soon.
It's coming.
It's coming.
We're owed tip money. Keep it there.
All
That's
right.
fine.
Well, I kind of skipped committees. Well, we didn't skip committees, but I forgot about the foundation. Do you want me to go over the foundation really quick?
Sure.
Let's see, okay. They have some investment money they're renewing. These are not good notes. Villarreal, they talked to Tracy about the garden, and Villarreal offered to do some woodworking, like the trellises and stuff. She just has to get with them. They suggested a rain barrel and security on where we're gonna put the garden. Gave us some ideas to look for donations. Let's see, spaghetti dinner in September. They're gonna do September 17th, and they're talking about selling tickets at the Hanukkah Fest and having the spot with the boards again. They said that the community really enjoyed that. And then they talked about supporting the pancake breakfast for the PTC. They talked about maybe putting up working with us to pay for a signage at the Rotary Park, which it sounds like Hanukkah already has. I don't remember seeing it. I didn't go through last year, I guess.
For the lights.
Oh, yeah,
No,
the
I
festival
don't think
lights.
Hanukkah
Not
did.
having a
Hanukkah had, there was a little.
It's the town has, the town has.
The town did, well, Town and Country did,
Yeah, I think we have.
yeah. I thought Town had.
It's not that expensive to get.
No, I don't think so.
I think we do
Just
it
get a
yearly
quote.
now. You have to pay a yearly fee. I only know this because I have one for my parents. And it depends on how big it is.
I think we were
They'll
gonna
send you a yearly
call
fee.
and-
Like my yearly fee is $75. That's for them to fix or and haul it away.
But I don't want to put like
But you
I
have to-
think yours is a memorial.
You,
have to
no,
buy
mine's
the
not
new
a
one.
memorial.
Not.
You have to buy the new one though, right?
You have to buy the new one. It used to be, you bought your sign and that was it. It was a one-time fee. Now, this year they started it, well, last year, 2025, they started it different. You can design your own. Actually, the guy that works for the town, Jeff,
I think that's what Eric said. He does.
he does them. He's actually really nice.
And we could talk to him next, maybe then, and see, work with the foundation on that. Oh, and they agreed to match they had some leftover money, and they decided to clear their books and match $1,000, which that's in our motion. So we'll do 1,000, they'll do 1,000 towards the garden project, and that's pretty much it from them.
Thank you.
I don't think buildings and grounds met at any other time. Okay. All right, let's move on to action items. Are we all good with the 2026-27 school year school calendar?
No changes since the last time we met and talked about that, so it's just
It sounds like the timeline for the projects are gonna line up with that anyway, so we'll look at changing it maybe next year. Can I have a motion to approve the 26-27 school calendar?
So moved.
I'll second.
Can I go through all of them?
Mhm.
Okay, can I have a motion to approve the superintendent to prepare the fiscal year 27 school budget?
Do we need to vote on that?
Mm-hmm.
I need to.
Oh, yeah, email on the
We can't do
calendar? You did vote on it, didn't you?
Well, we just.
We didn't vote on the calendar.
vote.
Oh, I thought
I
you
was
did. I'm
hoping to
sorry.
approve them all at once. Go
Yeah, you
for
gotta
it.
go through the calendar, each one individually.
All right, Olson.
Yeah.
Gans, yes. Goff.
Yep.
McLaughlin.
Yes.
Bernadoni.
Yes.
Konzak.
Yes.
Riddick.
Yes.
All right. And can I have a motion to approve the superintendent to prepare the school budget for fiscal year 27?
A motion.
Second.
All right, Gans, yes. Goff.
Yes.
McLaughlin.
Yes.
Bernadoni.
Yes.
Konzak.
Yes.
Riddick.
Yes.
Olson.
Yes.
Can I have a motion to approve $1,000 directed towards the TGS garden project?
I'll second.
All right, Goff.
Yes.
McLaughlin.
Yes.
Bernadoni.
Yes.
Konzak.
Yes.
Riddick.
Yes.
Olson.
Yes.
Gans, yes.
Motion to approve BCA to solicit project for bids.
Motion.
I'll second. Whoever you want.
All right. McLaughlin.
Yes.
Bernadoni.
Yes.
Konzak.
Yes.
Riddick.
Yes.
Olson.
Yes.
Gans, yes. Goff.
We're gonna go into closed session. There are, motions afterwards.
Five motions.
5 motions.